go the easy way. Why should I be the one to change things yet? Everyone has been living this way for such a long time. It's like everyone is living similar lives but just in different bodies. So if you're going to be successful, you cannot live the way everyone is living. You have to come out and set a new pattern for you to actually be able to make it in life. Not because a group of people are all thinking the same way that makes it right. No. The world we are living in is also changing. So we need also to be changing the way we are thinking in order to match the world in which we live in. Hi, welcome back to Book Review DNG, a channel which was created to share premium content from different authors and books around the world that talk about personal development, business, and other topics that have personally inspired me. So for the past days, we have been looking at How Successful People Think by Jonh, Maxwell, and we are on chapter 8 that talks about popular thinking, and the heading actually says, question popular thinking. Popular thinking is simply the thinking or a way of life that is adapted by everyone. It's like everyone is living similar lives but just in different bodies. So it's not something that is new to anyone. It's just something that has been there for generation to generation. And so Jonh Maxwell is actually telling us that successful people question popular thinking. Why? Because if you're going to be successful, you cannot live the way everyone is living. You have to come out and set a new pattern for you to actually be able to make it in life. Because if you're following the trends that everyone else is following, there's not going to be any much difference between you and the other people of your society or of your company. If you want to become a good thinker, then you have to start preparing yourself to become unpopular. Let me give you an example. We all go to school, right? So that after school we can get jobs, we can go to university, then get jobs. But then there might be someone else who actually decides that for him after school, he's going to be the one giving jobs to those other people. And definitely there's going to be a difference between those two people's lives, because the employer for him will have enough time to go, to travel, to go on vacations, whereas the one who just followed the pattern of school, job, and home, that will be their daily life. They will not have enough time to actually get out and go for a swim, go for a vacation. And that is down the difference, and that is a major reason why we need to come out of the popular thinking. So why do you need to question the acceptance of popular thinking? Point number 1, popular thinking sometimes means not thinking at all, because good thinking is hard work, and actually not everyone has the time to sit down and think out for themselves. They prefer to just go the easy way. Why should I be the one to change things yet? Everyone has been living this way for such a long time. So it is easier to do what other people have done and hoping that it will also work for you. But there is no assurance in all of this. And for you to actually become successful, you shouldn't base your future on hopes, because it's not going to work out for you. You actually have to get out there and put a strategy in place in order to actually become successful. Second point, popular thinking offers false hope. Many people actually look for safety in other people's way of thinking, yet there is no guarantee in it. It's not because a group of people are all thinking the same way that makes it right. No. So we need to get out of that pattern and actually come out and think for ourselves where needed. Yeah, sometimes popular thinking can be right, but it's not all the time that you're doing something different that you're wrong to. No, it doesn't work like that. Third point, popular thinking is slow to embrace change. Popular thinking loves the status quo. It loves the pattern that the society has already created, and as such it becomes very hard for anyone to actually think otherwise. But let me assure you, we live in a world that keeps on changing daily, on a daily basis, and as such the past way of doing things may actually not work anymore, because the world we are living in is also changing. So we need also to be changing the way we are thinking in order to match the world in which we live in. Fourth point, popular thinking brings only average results. Popular thinking brings mediocre results because there is nothing new that is taking place. Like all of you, all your lives, all your results are going to be the same, be it in business, education, anything. Everything is going to look the same, because popular thinking is the least of the best and the best of the least. We actually limit our success when we employ popular thinking, because we enclose ourselves in a box that do not allow us to explore our own thinking, to explore our creativity, and as such it becomes very hard. The percentage of percentages of us actually becoming successful are also reducing because we are following a certain pattern that does not assure us success. So moving on, we are going to look at how to question the acceptance of popular thinking. Number one, we have to think before we follow. If you want to succeed, you have to think about what is best for you and not what is popular. Like I'd said, it's not because something is popular that actually means that it's going to work or that it's right. No, you can actually get something that works for you and is not popular at all. And you do not have to be scared. I think also another reason why most people fail to think for their own is because they're scared of how the world around them, the people around them are going to look at them. But I think if you really want to become successful, I think all these successful people, that's the step they took. They had to come out of the pattern so that they explore their own thinking, their own capacities before they could force themselves onto a pattern that didn't seem right to them. Second point, we have to appreciate different thinking from our own. How do you do that? You have to continually expose yourself to people from different cultures, different types of businesses, different countries, so that you get to understand how do they think. And as such, you're going to learn a lot of new things that in your society are not frequently talked about. Yeah, and this is something that's going to help you to actually get time to be sitting down and think of your own, and actually get to mix up these cultures and see the results, mix up the standards and see what is it going to lead to. And I think this is something nice, it's something revolutionary. Yeah, so that's what I would also like to encourage you to spend time with people from different backgrounds, different status quos, different levels in life, so that you get to understand the importance of actually thinking differently. Third point, you have to continually question your own thinking. Let me give you an example. When you start up a company, yeah, there is a culture that you put in place, but over the years, that things are going to change. Your company is going to grow and evolve. So you have to question the decision, the thinking that you made years ago, and see how you can evolve it together with your company into something that will work for the current times that your company is living in. And that's the same thing that happened with BlackBerry. They wanted to stick with the idea that phones need to have buttons instead of having phones with touch screens, and that made them actually lag behind because they failed to evolve with the things that were trending during this time. Yeah. Fourth point, try new things in new ways. Most of us actually, it takes us a long period of time before we actually get ourselves to try something new. But when was the last time you actually got out of your comfort zone to try something new? I think when you try something new, we get new experiences, new ways of seeing things, and it actually helps us to think and reflect on those things on our own, which is also very, very helpful, because unpopular thinking, it pushes you to seek for answers, to ask questions, which is very contrary to popular thinking. Fifth point, you have to get used to being uncomfortable. Of course, when you're doing something that is different from what people are used to, they're going to make you feel as though you are an alien, as though what you're doing is not making sense. But trust me, if you know what you answer, as long as you know it's still standing right with your values and your principles, you can go ahead with it. You don't have to mind a lot about what people will think or say, but just know that you might not be wrong completely. And if you're wrong, at least you will not be wrong completely, and you would have learned to sometimes take your own decision and take your own thinking before following what other people are doing. So I would like also us to do an exercise. I know all of us have one thing that we have wanted to do. We have wanted to try out, but we are scared. We are scared of failing. We have the fear of failing. But let us take one of those many things and do them. And let us not even think of the outcome. Let's just do them. As long as we know they're still in line with our principles, with our values, let us try to do that and see how it is going to go. And at least even if at the end of the day we don't actually succeed, we would have gained the experience, we would have known what it feels like to actually make a decision for our own selves. Thank you so much. This is Book Review DNG. See you next time. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.